Hey there, my name is Przemek, and this is the review of this album, Nothvs Filivs Mortis, Lectiones Tenebrarvm. It's Latin, so I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. And I'll be talking about a very special release, as it's the first sign of life of Nothvs Filivs Mortis in about 20 years. Sorry, with a break in 2014 for a compilation Audio Mad, which brought together artists from a Madrid experimental scene. But the project's real last physical release was the Oran More trilogy, a triple split of Omne Datum Optimum, Gebolg, and the Church of Fent, and Nothvs Filivs Mortis, and it was released in 2005. And just when we all thought the project is long gone, Nothvs Filivs Mortis recently emerged from the depths of obscurity and performed at Barcelona Death Cult Rising Festival in October 2024. By the way, I have to visit this festival sometime because they have a fantastic lineup each year. Two released, of course, this album, Lectiones Tenebrarvm, which doesn't contain any new tracks, but more on that in a moment. As a matter of fact, it is, but like I said, in a moment. And three, the project has a track on our latest Santa Sangre compilation, the 6th configuration, with a brand new, wonderful track, Exsurge et Cineris. Check it out, and the whole compilation, of course. And of course, I suspect in those years of silence there were perhaps some live performances by Nothvs Filivs Mortis, but since I'm not sure, I don't know where or when, I won't delve into deeper into this topic. But before we get to this album, Lectiones Tenebrarvm, a word about the project itself. Nothvs Filivs Mortis is the alias of Alberto Hernandez Serradilla, a Spanish music producer and also a DJ in the underground Madrid clubs in the late 90s. Alberto is also behind projects like Cruor Martyrium or the Scorpio Rising, but I think it's fair to say that Nothvs Filivs Mortis is his main and most important endeavor. He started in 1998 as a live opening act for Blood Axis at their Madrid live show, and over the next few years, without releasing much music, let's be honest, he became a fairly recognizable name in the dark ambient or industrial scene. And that's interesting because, if I'm not mistaken, the project never released a real full-length album with brand new material, focusing more on splits and compilations, but that didn't stop him from gaining recognition among the fans of this type of music. Perhaps this is also the reason why Nothvs Filivs Mortis has never reached the top league of this scene, but today it has a cult status, I would say, similar to several other great projects of the past whose creative careers didn't last very long, or which never released a lot of music, like, I don't know, like Tribe of Circle or Furvus, or the Fourth Sign of the Apocalypse, or Anima in Fiamme. These are just a few examples that quickly came to my head, and in my opinion, obviously, we had these major artists from under the banner of Cold Meat Industry or Cold Spring or Old Europa Cafe, Hauruk, and several other labels, and they were, of course, big and important, but like I say, in my opinion, equally important in building a kind of exclusivity, perhaps even a certain elitism. I don't know if it's a good word today, but let's stick with elitism of this scene, where those smaller, more enigmatic projects, which in the early days of the internet managed to build an aura of esoteric mystery around them. Today, most of these projects are on a well-deserved creative retirement, but some of them are being reborn and offer a hope for further musical experiences in the future, like Nothvs Filivs Mortis. Okay, this is how the album looks like. A beautiful digipack with skulls, the skulls, credits and info about each track, more skulls, and oh, here are the credits, and thanks, of course. Those skull photos are taken at Les Catacombes de Paris, France, photography by Elise, used with kind permission. And this is the CD is limited edition of 144 copies, and inside there was also a Bandcamp download code, but I won't show you this one. It might come in handy one day. And like I said, it's not the album with new tracks, but a compilation of old tracks from splits and other compilations. All the compositions have been remastered, and and there are actually two unreleased compositions, but one of them is a different version of a track from Oranmore 2 split with the Gebolg and the Church of Fand. Okay. What sets Nothvs Filivs Mortis apart from other projects, you may ask? Is, in my opinion, it's definitely the skillful meandering between various subgenres of post-industrial music, because Alberto feels equally comfortable creating dark ambient, orchestral, industrial, and sometimes even dark folk, sometimes maybe kind of sacral industrial with a touch of martial at times, and the dark folk, like I said, in this reworked version of the track from that split with Gebolg and the Church of Fand. And the musician himself claims to prioritize quality over quantity, which is of course a good thing, and this is also noticeable in the track's structures, their multi-layered nature, and their ability to build tension or suspense, and keep the ability to keep the listener engaged throughout the entire piece. And what I love the most is the kind of ceremonial aura surrounding Nothvs Filivs Mortis music, perhaps even somewhat liturgical, and this impression is enhanced by the use of Latin and French language, although English and Spanish also appear in some of the tracks. This is music of monumental cathedrals, vast catacombs, and dark rituals, but it also has this certain religious, perhaps even Christian undertone. Many tracks remind me of attending a kind of mass or a bour, some twisted version of Eucharistic celebration, or maybe some kind of dramatic performance, an occult theatrical play. Like listen to the fifth track, La Bête dans le Verbe, for example, and how incredibly the male and female dramatic declamations intertwine in that track. And this all isn't about cheaply scaring or shocking the listener. It's about drawing them into a dark yet sublime mystery. Alberto never crosses the line of kitsch or bad taste, simply, like I said, drawing you in its extraordinary musical world. This is what this type of music was all about 20 or 30 years ago. I mean, this orchestral, industrial, dark, ambient. And this music, I think, was later devaluated by a multitude of projects overly relying on cheap synthetics, and they were unable to extract soul and spirit from the computer. You know, on this Nothvs Filivs music, of course, there are synthetic orchestrations here, but they are used skillfully and sensitively. And the professional approach to your own work is one thing, but a more important issue is understanding and feeling the kind of music, this kind of music, which, if approached incorrectly, can easily cross the line into banality and ridiculousness. But this isn't the case here. It's an unearthly yet beautiful journey into the heart of darkness, and I hope a teaser for a brand new album in a foreseeable future. Yeah, Nothvs Filivs Mortis, Lectiones Tenebrarvm. Really, check it out. Thanks for watching and see you soon.